Welcome back to the Dreamhack Qualifier. Dreamhack Valencia is going to start in just a month, and the teams are now currently trying to qualify for the tournament. And we have another semi-final, and this best of 3 series is once again going to decide which team will go to the offline event. Is it going to be Fnatic or is it going to be KhaldorTV? KhaldorTV is the team of Nomi. You might know him also from teams like Well Met and from his old StarCraft 2 days as well, of course. Fnatic, I don't really think that they need an introduction here. They are going up against the all-German team now, and our first map is going to be Sky Temple. And this is going to be a pretty fun one. We have Johanna as the hero on the side of Fnatic. They're going to try and run her here as the solo tank. The draft already very interesting, and oftentimes what KhaldorTV does is put pressure on a certain class, in this case the Warriors. So we're going to see if that's going to work out for them. They themselves go into a Nubarak here, try to play with the Malfurion in the backline for the heals, and they also have next to the Lost Vikings for experience soak a Zeratul that is going to help them out in those fights with a Void Prism and of course also with all that extra damage. So let's find out who's going to take the first map in the best of 3 series. Is it going to be the German team? Is it going to be KhaldorTV, or will Fnatic take the lead here on Sky Temple?
Alright everybody, game number 1 at the semi-final of the Dreamhack Valencia Qualifier. In this best of 3 series, we have Fnatic facing KhaldorTV. To the left side of the map it is Fnatic with Ace of Spades on Rhaegar, Freds on Johanna. We have Kaysil playing Tassadar, Lol on Sylvanas of course, and Shinobu in this game on KhaldorTV. To the right side of the map, Nomi for KhaldorTV on Anubarak. We have Glucosa on Malfurion, Grulum on Jaina, Coco is playing Zeratul, and Freezer on the Lost Vikings. So game number 1 of the series starting up here on Sky Temple. I'm Khaldor, with me is Gillyweed, and we're going to bring you the coverage of the Dreamhack Valencia Qualifier here.
Already we're seeing Freezer keeping the Vikings grouped up in bottom, but an engagement happening around that vision tower. Not committing too much. It looks like KhaldorTV will be okay to give that up, as all 5 heroes here are present for Fnatic.
And, well, we have the German team currently being Asian wannabes because, well, not trying to make them sound too bad here, but it's quite funny to see the level 1 talents taken, because that's something that you could see on a few of the Korean streams just the other day, when every single hero that had it available went for either Regeneration Master or Conjurer's Pursuit, and that's exactly what they're currently doing here. So as you can see, we have Regeneration Master for Anubarak, we have one for Zeratul, and also one for the Lost Vikings, which in this case is of course called Viking Horde. So yeah, pretty cool talent, especially for the later stage of the game, and oftentimes Zeratul players that go into the auto attack build try to make up for the lack of first aid on level 7 with the Regeneration Master. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, looking at the other side as well, Fnatic's talents, we do still have the healing totem for Rhaegar. Don't always see that anymore like we used to, especially with the changes, but it still is really great when you are doing a team fight in a certain area you're trying to stay on it, like those temples like we're seeing spawn right now.
Yeah, as you already said, like the healing totem is something that a lot of players shift away from and try to not use it anymore. Instead, there's a lot of talents on level 1 that you can take. Colossal Totem is something that really just synergizes very well with the Earthgrasp Totem that you can take then later on, just to give another example. But in this case, Rhaegar still going for it, and now that we have the first temple phase, we're already having the teams trying to go straight for those. Freeze at the bot lane, still soaking experience, having a Viking in the mid lane doing the same thing, and KhaldorTV is trying to fight over the temple in the mid lane, whereas at the top lane, Freds is in a bit of trouble on Johanna.
Yeah, she went in to try to take out Coco, move Coco off of that top temple, but wasn't quite able to do so. She might come down, no, she's going to stay in top lane and soak, but it looks like for the first time we might have Nomi being able to pick up that temple. Shinobu is still trying to hold it. They've got only a few shots left, and they're, for now, KhaldorTV going to grab a few shots off that mid temple.
Yeah, in the mid lane, once again, Ace is going in with the rest of them. Lowell hitting. Wow, he's actually eating that entire Blizzard, as does Shinobu. So they are dropping low in HP there already. The top temple has been taken. Zeratul is starting to shift a bit. They're going for Jaina, trying to get the kill in there. But Jaina moving back, getting blinded. Oh my god, that was so close. Grulum gets away, but Anubarak gets Anubaraked. And therefore the first kill on the board in favor of Fnatic.
Even Kaysil here on Tassadar came up trying to help take the rest of these shots from the mid-temple, and that means that nobody is soaking that bottom lane. Nobody was really soaking the top one as well, but because they did get a kill, they still are ahead in experience, so being able to survive that first temple phase with the Vikings soaking, that's that's a really good job by Fnatic.
We have also promote taken on Tacita now. That will make it a bit more difficult for Freeze's Vikings at the bot lane to really keep that pushed in. And keeping the bot lane pushed when the second temple is about to start is actually quite important, so you can do a lot here. As already a bit predicted, we have Raw taken on level 4 for Johanna, so going for the extra damage over the Laws of Hope, which would give her even more survivability. It's an interesting talent to take here. We've seen this a bit more often in the past few games. We also have on level 4 now Netherwind taken for Shinobu's Kelthas, and he's not relying on the gathering power now. In Europe, it is more common to see Netherwind taken, and they even have level 7 hitting now, which of course puts another talent into their hands, and the same goes also for Castaside.
Yeah, they are going to pick up Earth Shield, so they got Farsight for the Vision, and now they've got a ton of vision potential between the Farsight and, of course, the Oracle for Tassadar as well. Looking over at Malfurion, though, a Mule is present now for Castaside, so they're going to be able to heal up their structure. Is going to be very nice, and that's something that Fnatic are going to have to watch out for, is if a structure gets low and gets muled back up.
We have Conviction taken on level 7. It's a talent that you oftentimes see taken by Breeze for Navi as well, where you have the increased movement speed once that you start to use Condemn. It's actually very, very nice if you want to chase a target down, and also allows you in certain situations to get away from your opponent. Kessel needs to do exactly that, get away and get away fast, trying to shift away, but yeah, he is being caught out by 4 heroes, and it's just a bit too late for him. So he dies. That's the first kill that Castaside is able to pick up. And talking about talents in general, we have Barb Shot taken together with Unstable Poison on Sylvanas, seeing that talent now being picked after we had a lot of With the Wind plays earlier on today on Sylvanas, so the extra 200% of damage against minions and mercenaries.
Big push here up top for Fnatic, who are going for this fort. Similarly, Castaside is bottom, working on the bottom structures with that temple, but it's going to be, the first fort down will be on, or in favor of Fnatic, and that's going to push them ahead a little bit in experience. We might start even rotating down, trying to pick up some of the last shots, but yes, they will. Ace of Spades has stopped Nomi momentarily as the rest of his team is on his way here.
Yeah, the rest of the team is about to arrive, actually. They are moving in, and Ace is actually getting a lot of damage in. Kessel helping him out with that. Nomi moving back. Here comes the arrow, getting the silence, but they do not have the follow-up. Oh my god, Lowell is going deep with a Haunting Wave, trying to get the kill. They have the heroic abilities now, and they are putting them to some use, trying to go for the second fort already. They're going straight in here. Fnatic is on a bit of a killing spree right now. They're moving in with a kill against Malfurion. The support is already gone. Kessel at the front line, rocking the skin here, moving back once again. Here comes Condemn. Frets is trying to get another kill in, but is not able to do so. But they are a solid level ahead now after this battle.
Yeah, such a great play to go up and grab that top fort to get themselves the experience to have level 10 before their opponents and then rotate down like that. They just secured 2 forts from the second temple phase, whereas all of their forts are still up. So now they have a lot of breathing room to move around, push lanes, and stop the Vikings from sitting in lane and getting them pushed as well.
Really well done by them so far. For Nomi, by the way, later on in the game, he's going to be extremely tanky. Of course, that's kind of a given when you're playing a Nubarak, but considering that he has Conjurer's Pursuit on level 1 and also the Leeching Scarabs on level 7, that's a lot of sustain that you have in these fights. The hit point regeneration for him is going to be absolutely insane, and then also you have that life leech from your Scarabs. If he picks a Spell Shield on level 13, which he's probably going to do considering that we have a Kalthas on the opponent's team and also a Tassadar, he should be very, very difficult to drop and be very tanky at that front line to use those stuns as an interrupt. We have a setup here for a potential fight, and maybe Castaside can now start to pick a few kills off to start coming back and close the gap in experience even more.
Yeah, it looks like Fnatic are going to back off just a little bit. They are slightly ahead in experience, might be able to pick up their level 13s before forcing an engagement, and they really want to clean up this bottom as it is a push onto their fort. But the members of Castaside are right behind. They really want to take out a fort of their own and are pushing in toward this bottom one.
We have the Vikings just doing such a great job when it comes to soaking, and it shows because we were an entire level ahead for Fnatic just after the second temple phase, and as is now, we have them both nearly at the same level of experience just because the Vikings were able to soak so much. Frieza over here is going to lose Eric though, and that's a bit of a setback. We have at the top lane his Olaf trying to get a few shots off that tower, and then at the bot lane the rest of the team is already there. So yeah, over here they should be able to win that fight. It's basically a 4 versus 5 that they're trying to fight here, but they're going straight for Shinobu, but that heal, that ancestral healing, unbelievable! They get the kill against Zeratul. I can't believe that healing hit. I think they just started to ignore the target because they assumed he would die anyways.
Yeah, that was an amazing ancestral heal, and now Ace of Spades, who dropped that, is sitting in bottom, holding that temple, while the rest of this team is at the boss. They have the time. Zeratul's still down for 6 more seconds, and everybody has moved up toward the top. So this is a great play from them. They've secured a temple, they've taken down the mid fort, and now they're going to have a boss pushing in bottom as well.
I am really surprised that Khaldor did not die there. That really looked like they were trying to go for him, and at some point they just assumed that he would be dead anyways. Then the ancestral healing comes into play. It takes a couple of seconds for the charge up, and they just ignore the hero. They don't drop him. They focus on other targets, and then suddenly there is Shinobu back to full health, and that's of course a massive setback for Caster side. They are still in range when it comes to experience. They have the level 13 with a spell shield that we already predicted for Anubarak to be even safer. Life seed on Malfurion, but now we have so much momentum going for Fnatic. The boss pushing the bot lane. Caster side is trying to defend that, and Fnatic is using that freedom that they have to push the top lane.
Yeah, they have that Sylvanas who is able to help them push structures so quickly, and it's really important that they continue to try to throw damage on them because of the mule that we mentioned before. It's already healing up the gate on bottom, but the boss did get through a tower at least, and that is helping them keep their experience lead, as they are only 1 level away from those big level 16 talents in Khaldor's Ignite.
Yeah, well, at this point, with Khaldor gets the Ignite, he's definitely going to have a big burst in damage. He's currently looking at 7,400. That Viking Soak is really working out for Caster side, though I have to give them some credit for that. Frieza is playing an amazing Viking here and just making sure that he always has them split, so that he gets experience from at least 2, most of the time 3 lanes if need be, and that helps them to close that gap again. They suffered quite a few kills, and important ones at that, and also lost all of their forts already, but they are still at nearly the same level of experience. So good job by Frieza getting that EXP for Caster side.
Yeah, and they're continually moving between lanes, trying to pick up some more. They desperately want to get 16, as they know that's what their opponents are doing as well. And thankfully, because they're doing such an amazing job of soaking, they are only half a level behind. But now it looks like Balog a little bit out of position. Will Fnatic be able to take him out? They would love to do so. They're going to start the chase, and the top temple is about to spawn as well.
Yeah, and they're going for it with the Condemn, and they drop Balog. Well, you don't really want to chase them too hard because it's still only a quarter kill after all, but they take that, and of course therefore they take a bit of the map awareness or map presence away from their opponents. Up to the top lane now, a big wave that is being taken here. The shrine is activating. They're trying to go for Olaf here too, but they can't really take him out just yet. Level 16 talents are there. That puts us in with Ignite into the hands of Fnatic. Fanatism is also being used here, so you get the additional movement speed to 40%. We're having Tenacious Roots over Hardened Focus on Malfurion, so trying to just lock down the targets even more. The double bombs on Zeratul, and here they move in once again. The silence, and they get the kill against Jaina, maybe even against Nomi. No, but it's so close, and the kill, of course, against Jaina alone allows them to go for the temple. But this is where you could really see that regeneration coming into play for Nomi. That is one of the things that kept them alive in this one.
Yes, exactly, as well as a great tranquility from Malfurion.
Yep.
I wanted to point out that I think Fanaticism is a talent that Fnatic should have to pick up, simply because of his name.
You're making a good point there. I didn't even think about it like that. Temple at the top taken, even a bit more damage with the hero so that they get into a better position to drop the keep. I think they will eliminate that keep, and yeah, so that renders the mule kind of useless. They are probably going to try and mule it up anyways, but yeah, at this point they already should realize that it's not going to happen. Very smart move also by Fnatic to move in, put some additional pressure on the structure so that the temple would definitely finish it off. Because if that's not the case, the mule is going to heal up to full HP again.
Yes, definitely. Both teams with level 16 picking a lot of extra damage up. Northern Exposure for Jaina, so really looking to make enemies vulnerable. Similarly, Cold Embrace for Sylvanas as well. So looking at a lot of vulnerability as well as a Blood for Blood on each side. But of course it is the Ignite that will start dealing a ton of damage. Both teams trying to find a setup. Oh, Fred, a little bit of trouble. Will drop the Iron Skin and be able to get away.
Yeah, that speed bonus there also coming into play, of course, and especially with the level 7 talent on Condemn with the Conviction. it's still that level lead that we have. And in kills, 5 kills against 1, very solid for Fnatic. They're moving in once more, trying to poke with Shinobu and his Ignite. Oh, there comes Nomi moving away. Oh, good bubble against the 2 heroes in the back, and immediately the call, guys, don't go in too deep. We are currently in the Void Prison. And they're trying to turn it around. Yeah, Kaysil on his Archon. Where is that Flame Strike? That could do so much damage here right now. The heal against Freds, keeping Johanna alive. A good Flame Strike coming into play once again. Grulum nearly dead as Jaina in the backline. Coco has already blinked back as well. All of the heroes on the side of Caster side are very, very low. Fnatic is able to move back, but they are too low to take boss, I suppose.
Yeah, really good job sustaining through that by Caster side. As we mentioned before, the Ignite is there. There is a ton of damage, but nobody died there, so it's not like they just gave up the boss. And once again, they're posturing around here, but the next temple phase is going to throw a wrench into that, as now we are looking at 2 keeps remaining only for Caster side. All the keeps still up on the side of Fnatic.
Just to give you guys a bit of an idea of how much a good job Frieza is doing on those Lost Vikings, he has 21,000 experience on the Vikings, and the second one, the second closest on the board, has 6,400. So that's a third. He's doing an amazing job with them, just like keeping the vision alive all the time, going to temples. The bot lane, by the way, that's where we see a move for boss, and Fnatic knows that. Fnatic is actually starting to move down there, and well, that was already communicated since, of course, Frieza picked up on that and told them, hey guys, they are coming your way, and immediately Caster side is moving back.
They at least pulled Fnatic down so that Caster side can hold that top temple, which is exactly what they're doing with 2 of the Vikings. But it does mean that there's no potential for boat here if they get into the engagement, as long as they're up there. So for now, it looks like maybe Coco is going to be looking for that perfect Void Prison here. The boss getting very, very low. We probably will see Nomi also try to burrow charge in. We're going to have an engagement any second.
Yeah, and both of them are here with 5 heroes. Actually, not quite, because we have the Vikings at the top lane. So let's see, the boss ends up in the hands of Fnatic. Vikings are soaking top lane right now and are also making sure that they're getting the temple here. The first keep is already gone. Catapults are moving in, and Frieza is trying to defend with Balog. But we have another temple claimed now by Fnatic as they're moving down to the bot lane to secure this one. And of course, Caster side has to deal with the boss first.
And this temple is so perfect for them to have, because it's attacking the side that the boss is also moving in on. So a bit of a double whammy here. They can't stop the temple. They're going to try to stop the boss as soon as possible. But with still half of the temple up, it looks like this keep could definitely go down.
It could go down for sure, and well, we have a lot of the temple shots still up, as you already said, so there's a lot of pressure against it. Doesn't really look like they're going to be able to save it, and that is temple number, or keep number 2 that drops. And it also is going to put level 20 into their hands, or at least they're going to be extremely close.
Well, with those 5 final shots, the keep will go down. And there is level 20 as well. We'll see what they're going to pick up. At least Bolt of the Storm on Sylvanas, as well as Kael'thas. Twilight Archon for more damage from Tassadar. A Storm Shield for Rhaegar. And, oh, Indestructible for Johanna. She might have been going for damage early on, but she's all about tanking now.
Exactly, and have fun killing her now. That is very, very tricky, nearly impossible actually. Nomi already being attacked. Oh my god, Nomi eating so much damage. That Phoenix doing a lot too. The good Void Prison is isolating Shinobu and Kaysil for a second. Shinobu even trying to go for a quick rapid lapse against Zeratul. Here comes the silence, silencing Jaina. 3 heroes in total actually. Oh, Glucosa is so low. This Malfurion needs to move back, but they get the kill against Rhaegar. Can they get another one? Cast Aside is suddenly on the way forward. They have the Ragnarok and roll for the Vikings. Shinobu low, Johanna nearly dead, and Kaysil is about to be dropped. Great comeback all of a sudden from Caster side. They are using the momentum that they were able to build up here, and they are now trying, of course, to eliminate a few of the structures as well. Maybe even go for a keep.
Yeah, this top keep is exposed, and they were right there, so they're like, hey, let's just go ahead and go for that. They did pick up a hardened shield on a Nubruk, so that definitely helped, as well as, like you mentioned, Ragnarok and roll, and they did get the Storm Shield on Malfurion. So now Nomi taking some damage. They still do have to watch out. Shinobu is still up, but they're going to eliminate the keep and just back off.
Very well done by Caster side here. So that definitely is... Like, the entire game so far, I felt, went in favor of Fnatic. They always won the fights, they got the boss twice, they got the shrines that they really fought for, they had great rotations at the beginning of the game, going even for the top. And that was the first fight that really turned against them all of a sudden. And that happened when the level 20 abilities were up for both of the teams, so they probably didn't really like that too much. I really like the way that we are seeing those Zeratul Void Prisons coming into play from Coco. He always isolates only 2 of the heroes, makes sure that the opponent has to fight it 3 versus 5 for a few seconds. And with all the talents that they now have, especially the Ragnarok and Roll, they can really put the hurt into the rest of the people. And at this point, the temples are starting to attack the keeps of Fnatic. Fnatic has to fight now.
They do indeed. They are heading in. There's only 1 temple available, so this is definitely where they will make their siege. They're holding it for a little bit. It looks like Casticide will back off just a little bit. They realize that there is a huge push of 4 siege giants moving toward the core on bottom, so they had to give that temple up for a little bit.
Yeah, and as all of the structures are still standing at the wall, 2 towers included, they know that the temple is not going to drop the keep yet. But of course, this is a very tricky situation. But it's very nice to see that Castleside is willing to just move back, sacrifice a few of the less important structures in the mid lane. It just says, we do not have to fight right now, we need to take care of these siege giants, because if they do too much damage, then we will end in a loss-loss situation either way. So, very good move by them, and they still have a very strong presence on the map right now. I'm really liking the way that they've been playing this game, even though so far Fnatic has probably a bit more going for them. Oh my god, the burn against Naomi, that silence! They see an opportunity, they take it. Wow, that was a great snipe.
Water Elemental dropped, but it's mainly just being used right now to try to slow down Fred from chasing the rest of the members of Casticide. The zoning Water Elemental. And with that, they will be able to get away at least, but this is opening up an opportunity. 45 seconds until a new Brack is left, and it looks like the Fnatic is trying to go for this last keep. They will have to watch out. There is still plenty of members up to poke them, especially those Lost Vikings as well as the Jaina, but they have the Sylvanas to take out the structure very fast.
I really love that move with that Water Elemental, slowing down Johanna to make sure that she couldn't get in. With all that movement speed boost that we have for Johanna, she should have been able to just like hunt one of those targets down, use Condemn to get that, but thanks to the Water Elemental, that didn't work. So Grulum with a very, very good job on his Jaina there. But that snipe against Naomi, face checking that bush, just moving in, and then Fnatic realizing, oh my god, look at that, there's a beetle. Playing Whack-a-Beetle for a second, taking it down, silencing him as well, he couldn't escape, and now they're trying to burst the boss away. But the rest of Team Castleside is already moving in, they have to hurry, and they need to be super fast here right now.
They do. Coco does drop the Void Prison and jump on top of the cap point. Here comes the rest of the team. Phoenix goes down as well. A huge group from Malfurion followed by the Burrow Charge from Nomi. The great heal does keep Johanna alive. Zeratul is now down. And Tassadar has not gone down yet. He's so difficult to kill with those Prescience Talents, but nobody's capped it yet. And now Fred has to move away. A great pickup on the boss from Casticide.
Oh my god, Fnatic is on the run. They lost Johanna, they traded against Zeratul, the boss ending up in favor of Castleside. They were able to make that happen. They got the boss, and these level 20 talents really helping them with that, of course. We're having a Storm Shield that Malfurion could use in the last fight. It was also the Hardened Shield. 3 temples are up right now, and both of the teams have to fight for that. Fnatic all of a sudden is in trouble. They have at the bot lane still the Wall of Life, so the boss is not going to finish it just yet. They need to go for a temple. 1 temple is all that they need, and they're moving in for it. Eric up at the top lane, already moving back. At the same time, the entire setup for Fnatic is already there. And Castleside, are they going to try and go for core? What are they trying to do? They're moving in with the boss. They're trying to finish the keep at the bot lane and going for it, but I'm not quite sure if they're going to be able to do that.
Oh, Sylvanas Lowell is trying to go in and pick up another temple. They already have core attacking. It's a base raise here as Shinobu is here with the Phoenix. It looks like the core is at 30% and falling so fast, still 100% for Fnatic. It's going to be Fnatic who will win this game.
Fnatic takes the game, a base raised at the end. They were in the better position, already dropping the keeps earlier. A 1-0 lead for Fnatic at the qualifier. And we're going to jump into game number 2 in just a second.
Oh, really close game there in the end. We had actually a couple of really nice fights for Fnatic, dominating the early game and the mid game. But once that those level 20 hits in the later stages of the game, you could really see that Castleside was picking up some speed. They played a very patient game, waiting for their chance. And especially that boss call by Fnatic. I mean, oh my god. That looked for a long time like Fnatic was just thinking, okay guys, just wait. If they jump on the spot, we can throw in Kel'Thuz's Phoenix, we hit them with a Flame Strike, and we just make all those abilities come to play place and take them out right there, take boss and finish the game. And all of a sudden there's Nomi right there on the spot, hitting that hardened shield, keeping himself alive with the Nubarak, and well, Fnatic, they couldn't drop him, and then they lost one hero after another. The boss marches to the left side of the map, attacking Fnatic structures, and that was probably the point in the game where Fnatic said like, hey guys, we are really far ahead, but we could still lose this right now because suddenly our opponents are turning things around there. In the end, a bit of a base race scenario, and with all of the structures already eliminated on Castleside's side, there was of course nothing they could do against the double temple that Fnatic was able to capture. But yeah, a very interesting one here. And well, that leaves us with the lead for Fnatic, but of course this is not really the end of the plays just yet. We are going into the next map here, and we're going to try and find out how exactly this is going to come into play. It is again Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we have very interesting setups here. We have as a solo tank for Fnatic, Tyrael that is being played. We have a Zagara and Zeratul in their lineup, so they have a very strong lineup to actually section off parts of the opponent's team. Once again, Malfurion, the healer on the side of Castleside, they are doing a great job with like keeping the heroes alive here, and I'm very curious to see how this game is going to end up for them right now. They have a Jaina in their setup, they have a Vala here, and Nomi is once again also on Muradin to really just add that tankiness to the lineup. Castleside needs to win 2 in a row if they want to go to Valencia, and Fnatic of course, they want to dominate here, but then again, Sky Temple was a little bit closer than they probably expected. So guys, let's find out if Castleside can turn things around and tie the series up. Next map coming up, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Game number 2, everybody. We are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Fnatic going up against Castleside here at the Dreamhack Valencia Qualifier. We're on the second map, and it might be the last map of the day, depending on Castleside's performance here. Starting to the left side of the map with a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series, it is Fnatic. Ace of Spades on Brightwing. We have Kelthos played by Kesil, Freds on Tyrael, Lowell playing Zeratul, and Shinobu on the Zerg Queen playing Zagara here. As to the right side of the map, we have Nomi on the Dwarf. It is Glucosa on Malfurion, Grulum on Tassadar, Coco on Jaina, and Frieza playing Vala in this game. So guys, this is going to be a good one. I'm Khaldor, with me as Gillyweed, and we're going to bring you the coverage here for the second game of the semi-final, and immediately a lot of aggression against Freds.
Poor Freds was not even fully, I think, ready or set up, but does get away, of course, and taking a little bit of damage, but once again stunned and now taking a bunch of damage from Coco.
Yeah, we have interesting talents, by the way, taken. I want to talk about that in a second, but so far we have actually a massive brawl going on in the mid lane. Not really too much to talk about there. We have actually like Regeneration Master taken on the side of Zeratul once again to make up for the lack of the talent on level 7 first aid, which would usually give you a bit more survivability. But the talent that I really want to talk about is that we have Perfect Storm on Muradin. You don't see that too often. Normally it's really the Reverberation build these days, especially since you are up against a lot of auto attack heroes in general. That would of course be Tyrael, for example, that could be a Zeratul. But on a map where the objectives, or where you really want to push a whole lot, I guess you can get a lot out of that Stormbolt build, going for a level 4 Stormbolt talent as well, and probably also then later on level 7. So an interesting choice for Nomi.
Yeah, looking at the other side, we do have Reconstitution, so creep build so far from Zagara as well. So focusing on that vision there a little bit, and then even more so with the scouting drone for Brightwing as well. So they are really looking to control the turn-in points, make sure that they don't get ganked as well, because they are playing against that cast-aside Muradin.
Exactly, so Muradin here can of course always go for a quick stun, and then you have that extra damage with Coco. We already see at the top lane where Ace is getting blown to pieces. So Brightwing is dead, and in this case they pick up the gems, but they can't do more than that. Nomi already working on the creep spread reduction, and actually this time he is hitting those pretty hard. Coco is also there with a Cone of Cold, making sure that that creep tumor is not surviving anymore either.
Yeah, that's definitely the key, is making sure that they can take them out. And because they do have Oracle, that will be nice in helping to make sure they get rid of them. But it's going to be Brightwing who will go down once again on top, falling to that strong roam
That was a very, very fast kill. I think Brightwing just reappeared on the map and immediately died again. So an 0-2 already in kills in favor of Cast Aside. Picking up that level 4 talent for Stormbolt with a Sledgehammer. We have also Promote on Tassadar. And here's again the setup. They're trying to go for another kill. Freds might be in trouble. No, it is actually Zeratul that they go for. A root as well. A last second escape. But there's the Moonfire kill. Glucosa hammering Zeratul into the ground. And yeah, Fnatic, they're getting pretty wrecked at the early game.
The Moonfire kills have been real today. So insane. There's the Promote Shinobu having to deal with those promoted minions. It looks like Cast Aside doing a really good job of maintaining control over this top turn-in points. They always have something to turn in. Even a Stormbolt going out, but will miss Ace of Spades, who is playing very, very passively, as he's been picked up a couple of times. Even grabbed that protective shield because of this at level 4.
Yeah, they're trying to go for Coco. There's the heal and the shield. Protective shield on level 4, but the kill regardless. Fred's moving in, and he has on level 1 the talent for the extra damage against Hero for a Smite, Purge, Evil on 1, Retribution on level 4. It's actually, to me, a little bit interesting to see him go for these talents, since he is the sole tank for his team, but he didn't even bother to go for Amplified Healing on level 4. Oh, up at the top lane, Bala is being taken out. Fnatic coming back with a vengeance here.
Yeah, we're seeing them really rotate around and try to pick up some kills here, as they are also turning in some gems. They've got 41 out of 50, so only 9 more, and they'll have the first Web Weaver. Shinobu might be that last turn in. She's turning in on bottom and will be able to pick it up.
Yeah, Zagara with the turn in. Again, the pressure against Grulum on Tassadar. Gets a few hits in against Zeratul, but Lowell is getting back in. Lowell, of course, going for the auto attack build, now using focus attack on level 4. So in case that you guys are wondering why exactly did he not go for Seasoned Marksman, that's actually a question that I can't really answer, because I feel personally that on this map Seasoned Marksman is absolutely amazing, since it's so easy for you to get these stacks in. On any other map I would definitely agree with that talent choice. It's still, of course, a matter of preference, but if you go for that auto attack build, you give up first aid on level 4, and therefore going for Regeneration Master on level 1 just gives you a little bit more lane sustain. On this map in particular, those Seasoned Marksmen can be quite amazing with an auto attack build, because it's so easy to get 50 stacks or even more over the duration of a match.
Speaking of talents, we do have level 7 for both team as well, as a huge push for Fnatic with the Web Weaver on bottom. They've taken out both towers and the gate. The rest of the Web Weavers, mid is almost cleaned up. Top is already done as well. So Fnatic going to move back here, content with the towers they picked up, knowing that rotation was inevitable from Nomi.
We have both of the teams closing in on level 8 now, so the experience is nearly the same again. And considering how strong the opening of Team Cast Aside was, Fnatic has done a pretty decent job coming back into this when it comes to experience. That pressure with the Web Weavers, of course, helped them a lot. They're still slightly behind, but we have now the full hammer build on the side of Muradin. Oh, down here, Grulum in a bit of trouble. Gets away after that singularity spike of Lowell. Zeratul hit and hit hard. And with the level 7 talents that we see for both of the teams, still the pretty normal and standard builds that both of them are executing, even with the enduring growth on Malfurion after we've seen quite a lot of mules today already.
And that Stormbolt just did so much damage to the tower in mid. And now both teams, like you said, neck in experience. We do have Gust of Healing for Brightwing, so that's going to help with their sustainability a little bit, as well as battle momentum for both Zagara and Tyrael. But it will be Kael'thas Kaysel who's going to be rooted. Will he be able to get out? Nomi is on the chase, going to try to catch up with the Stormbolt. Not going to be able to do so. Ace of Spades going to be able to phase shift in and save him, especially with that fountain.
That was a very dangerous situation for Kaysel. Thanks to the Piercing Bolt on level 7, it could have hit him hard. So that was a very, very nice move from him, moving straight down after he crossed the gate so that that wouldn't hit him. Red Web Weavers are descending now. Very aggressive game from both of them. The German team with the initial kills, they are still a bit ahead when it comes to the kill count with 3 against 2. But Fnatic is doing a solid job there. They are in the lead in the best of 3 series with a 1-0 after our first map, Sky Temple. But already there, it was a pretty close call. And Fnatic needs to be careful, because Cast Aside definitely showed throughout the tournament that they are able to take a series of even big opponents and big names, and that's what they're going to try and do here once again.
Yeah, and they're very close to 9, and with this push for the Web Weavers, will easily be able to get 10. So now Fnatic really needs to make sure that they also have 10 in case they get engaged upon. They do have the Bruisers. That's going to help with this push in mid here a little bit, as they are both just rounding out their heroic abilities. But this is going to be, I mean, Cast Aside has a really great composition to be able to push with these Web Weavers. So Fnatic are at least have their heroic and are going to drop that Phoenix there in mid to help zone.
More Void Prism to great ultimates, to great heroic abilities when it comes to sectioning off opponents, and they're already judging him. Oh, ho, ho! What a great Void Prism, isolating to the judgment at exactly the same time. The pickoff against Jaina, very well done, but now they have to keep Threads alive, and that's not going to be easy. Tyrael is being attacked heavily, he's trying to jump away, gets his shield in once again, and of course we're having Strafe used by Freeze at the backline, trying to put in the extra damage to drop one of the targets, doesn't get that. Here comes a move against Nomi, trying to go straight for the kill against Muradin with a quick Rarity Lapse, but not getting that in. And after the initial kill against Jaina, Fnatic had to move away, but what an engage!
Man, the aggressive Void Prison and then the defensive disengaging Maw, that was an amazing play from them. Very good synergy from their all their abilities, but they do have the possibility of going up against another turn-in. They don't. It looks like they also have the ability to turn in for their own, so we may see some fights around these turn-in points as both are very close in level.
I really think in the last fight, the plan of Fnatic looked a little bit different than what actually happened. They probably said like, alright, use the Void Prism, we're gonna kill Jaina, and then we're gonna take them out one by one. And all of a sudden, the fight turned around, and even with 4 heroes, KhaldorTV gave them a run for their money, and they had to back off, and I don't think they really expected that. So they will be very careful taking from here on out, but it was of course a great kill against Jaina, but it cost them several heroic abilities.
Yeah, and it was really the roots, I think, from Malfurion holding down Freds in that fight that really helped them be able to turn it around as they got Freds very, very low. He had Elduin's out, but now we're going to have another engagement. Nomi already in there is going to be Gravity Labs, though, trying to get the disengage. There is the Great Phoenix to try to zone, and now Fnatic staying safe. The team is not all together.
Glucosa definitely hitting a lot of these roots, doing a great job at that. And yeah, he's doing a great job with those, hitting them really on the spot and making sure that the opponent is always locked down. I have to give Frida some credit for his mount, by the way, rocking the piggy here, loving it, totally do. Here come the Web Weavers, and this time it's the blue ones. Fnatic is trying to push in again, and before the Web Weavers are even there, they are already bursting through that wall.
Yeah, they've taken down the wall and got a good little bit more of experience than their opponents, and now they may try to go help this top one as it is falling a little bit behind, while the bottom one is starting to push in toward the fort. The gate was already down, so now they've got to be careful, though. Brightwing is a bit separated, looks to be maybe looking to help the bottom Web Weaver because everyone is up here, but unfortunately Fred's a little bit out of position. He's going to have to shield, will be able to get away. Here comes Brightwing into a fight, though.
Immediately jumps in with the judgment once again, but Fred's is already low, is trying to... What a more! Nomi completely isolated. It looked like it would be the turnaround against Fnatic, but a monster more from low. Oh my god! What a move! Amazing! Just at the same second as Muradin was using his jump to initiate, he got completely isolated. That was the maw of death for sure. Great play by Lowell here.
Caught 4 heroes, 4 in that, and now because they were able to distract KhaldorTV up top for so long, the bottom fort was completely undeterred and did go down. So now they've got the level 13 talent advantage. They're pushing this top lane. They're even showing to maybe go and try to take out this fort, as then it would give them a lot of room to eventually show at the boss later on.
Yeah, and just if some people were really confused, I was of course talking about the Void Prism, not about the Maw. I'm pretty sure that Shinobu would have loved to throw one of these as well, but in this case it was actually Zeratul. But yeah, that got a bit too exciting too fast, and I was still focused on Zagara quite a bit. So 13 talents for both of the teams, and that gives us imposing will for Tyrael. We have in this case also the grooved spines taken for the Hunter Killer range. The 13 talents for, wow, for KhaldorTV give them actually a lot of passive abilities, going for a double ice block and also on Muradin a spell sheeter. Look at that, they're trying to go for boss.
They are indeed. They also have those 13 talents, so they're caught up in terms of the talents and even have Web Weavers descending as well. So it looks like they might leave. I think maybe they're just trying to bait a little bit Fnatic into going up top, but they weren't really buying it. They're instead going to be trying to push the different lanes, trying to come in now. Brightwing will be able to come in on top of this and is doing so. Freds is going to Judgment immediately in on Coco, who immediately drops the ice block. Such a great ice block. Maw and Void Prison actually kind of on the same targets, but it will be Jaina who does go down. Freezer dropping that straight. dealing a ton of damage to Fred. Will they be able to take him out? Looks like they will. He's going to come back as a bomb, though, so they've got to be careful. One hero down on each side, and the fort does go down.
Again, that sustain that they have here. The ice blocks really keeping them alive. Only Jaina dying, but they get the counter kill against Kesel. Really well done here on the side of Caster's side. They take down the top fort, and they also drop the one in the middle. Still, both of the teams incredibly close in experience and also in kills. That sustained during those battles. Glucosa with the tranquility, dropping also, of course, his protective shield here. They are doing an amazing job in this game right now. I'm really liking the play of Caster's side here. Fnatic, though, they have always they are the ones to initiate, to really jump in with that Tyrael. They just need to keep him alive somehow and to make sure that they drop more than only Jaina.
Yeah, Cast aside, with that Webweaver phase, did serious work. They took out 2 more forts, so now there are none remaining for Fnatic. And now they're even heading down, going to be able to pick up some Siege Giants and be able to get a little bit of pressure continued in that bottom lane. But up in the top turn-in point, we do see Fnatic trying to turn in and get some Webweavers of their own.
Yeah, and here once again a potential engagement. Oh, Nomi was trying to go for a quick Stormbolt, but the immediate blink by Lowell saves him for now. Zagara still busy pushing the bot lane, especially of course against that Siege Giant camp. And both of the teams are starting to move in on level 16, but you can really tell that this is a game on eye level right now. I have to admit that Caster's side is doing much better than I thought they would do in the series, and I'm super happy about it. Another German team that is starting to really make some headway here in the Heroes of the Storm, and it is pretty fun to watch them. They have a lot of gems as well, so they could turn those in. It's not a full turn in just yet, but it is one for Fnatic. They get the next Webweaver set, and they are very close to 16.
They are indeed, and they're going to have a little tiny bit of a window, but nothing really from that, as their opponents Cast aside are very close to 16 as well. So it looks like they will choose to attack up top, try to take down one of the forts that still remains for Cast aside. They've got 16 now as well, but they're still going to play a little bit passive here.
Yeah, we have Ignite now, and that's of course the really important part on the side of Fnatic, so that they can use that with the Flamethrower on the level 13, and they are already moving in again, once again against Jaina. They're trying to get the stun lockdown. The Void Prison was great, and Jaina is dead, once again being the punching ball of Fnatic throughout the entire game so far. Nomi also attacked the Phoenix, great for zoning. They dropped the fort, and they're trying to get another kill in, as Glucosa is throwing out the heals and shields left, right, bottom, and center. Freezer pushing them back a bit with a Frost Arrow, but a good Maw again, hitting 2 of the heroes. They're trying to go for the next kill, they nearly get Tesla. Oh, no, actually Malfurion with an ice block. I cannot. Oh, he dies in the end against the Ignite. Wow. Fnatic really with the plays here and the aggression after that 16 talent hit.
Yeah, they have some amazing setups for Flame Strike and Phoenix as well from the Kael'thas. Both the Void Prison and the Maw to be able to set up from that. And they did that. They did one right after the other, and they were able to pick up 2 takedowns on that, as well as the forts. They've evened up the structures. They now have that mid fort down as well. So we might see them, they look like they're setting up once again up top. Oh no, people are going to go back. Okay, so we're not going to see them trying to force the boss at this point.
Yeah, mid lane we have Caster's side just waiting a bit now. Of course, losing those heroes in the last fight really put a bit of a damper on their gameplay, especially with the Webweavers doing so much damage against their structures. They find themselves in a very passive position now. If we talk about damage in the game, then especially Zagara, of course, putting out a lot of damage over the entire course of the match. But it is Kael'thas who already takes the top spot only after hitting 16 a level ago. And when we're looking at the side of the German team, it is Vala with 25,000, doing a very solid job here, thanks of course to the strafes that she's been throwing out. Very interesting game here so far, and this is still like very winnable for Caster's side. They just need to win one of those matches, and Fnatic, you can tell in those fights, is not having an easy time at all. It's really difficult to drop that lineup.
Yeah, Fnatic has just had perfect setups for engagements every single time with the Judgment into the Void Prison. There goes the Judgment as well. Instant Ice Block, but it's not even on the target, as this time the target was Vala. So there's a Void Prison as well as a Maw. The Maw was on Nomi, which means that all of a sudden Coco is now down as well. An Ice Block on Glucosa will not be able to save him for long, as Malfurion is now down as well. We've only got Gruulem on that Archon as well as Nomi, and they're going after Nomi. There is the Critterize there from Brightwing, so he did take extra damage, and only Tassadar remains now, and now Fnatic's going for keep.
Amazing team coordination in that last battle. That was just absolutely wonderful. Tyrael calls it, says like, Vala, she's mine, jumps in, a perfect Void Prism. It could have gotten any better. Isolates the heroes next to Vala, but keeps her out of the Void Prism to get the damage in. They kill Vala, they maul Nomi, and just with that they're able to take out 4 heroes of the team. That was absolutely beautiful. It doesn't get any better than that when it comes to team coordination. And Cass's side just took a very, very big hit there and also lost one of their keeps.
Yeah, that was so incredible to watch. With that, now Fnatic have a way bigger level lead as they are almost to 20 as well. They are turning in. Looks like they do have enough. They just need one more person to turn an Ace of Spades. Having 9 here might be the one to do so. But they've got to be careful because everyone from Cast's side is back here, and I think they're going to be out for blood, especially because they would love to catch their opponents before they get Storm Talons.
Cast's side, they need to really make something happen right now, and as you already said, that level 20 is not going to be easy for them, so if they can catch somebody before that happens, that would be great. And they are probably going to try and do exactly that. We have the Tenacious Roots, maybe that's going to help them with the setup here. I'm loving the Shrink Ray. We've seen that several times already in the fights where Zeratul was immediately Shrink Rayed after jumping in, and it kept heroes alive for sure. But now the Blue Web Weavers are descending again. 1 keep is already down. The pressure against Cast's side is incredible, and if they lose here, then they're out of the qualifier. We do not have a loser bracket, and just look at Fnatic. Confident as they are, they go straight up to the boss to take it.
Yeah, they've got those 20 talents. We have 2 bolts, one on Kael'thas and one on Zagara, so really going to be able to watch that positioning, especially because a stun from Murden or the Roots from Malfurion could definitely ruin their day. But now the boss has been picked up by Fnatic, and this is going to be moving toward one of the final keeps remaining for Cast's side.
Yeah, the 2 final keeps here. Murden is actually at the bot lane. That leaves them up at the top with 4 man to defend against this setup. And this is just too much. That keep is definitely going to fall. There's like a Web Weaver pushing through the wall already. The boss is going full ham. We have at the same time just 4 heroes waiting for an opportunity to jump somebody with another judgment. Tyrael is just sitting there waiting for an opportunity now.
He is ready. They smell the end of this game. They want to be the ones to go in. But Nomi jumped in too, and instantly Malfurion has been taken out. He was the target of that judgment, and now Freds is moving on toward Coco, who is also taken out. Freezer trying desperately to do a ton of damage with the strafe, but will go down, as did Tassadar. Only Nomi once again remaining, and GG well played coming from Malfurion.
Amazing snipe against Malfurion. The team coordination in the last 3 fights by Fnatic was incredible, and they win the game. This is GG, a 2-0 victory for Fnatic. They go to Dreamhack Valencia. Congratulations to them. Cast's side with a good performance today, but Fnatic stays victorious.
What an amazing game by Fnatic. I was blown away by that team coordination that we saw in those last games. I mean, Gillyweed and myself commentating the matches here, and to see these engagements, Tyrael immediately just jumping in. It was not even the fact that there was suddenly a target out of position. They just saw a target and they said like, all right, this guy is just half an inch away from the rest of his team. We're going to jump him right now. He jumps in, Freds is using that, we have immediately Lowell coming in after, using that Void Prism, and that was like, he used that like a surgeon. I mean, did you see that? They jumped twice into a ball of people, and Lowell is just able to isolate 3 of them with the Void Prism, and they barrel down on the last remaining target and take it apart. In one of the fights at the turning points, then even Shinobu throwing in a Maw for good measure, making that work as well. The team coordination on Fnatic's side was absolutely incredible there. I was definitely blown away by that. That was exactly the play that we were expecting from them. That was also what they need to bring to the table in Valencia if they want to be successful at Dreamhack. Cast's side, on the other hand, still with very solid play. I have to give these boys some credit. They were doing much better than I expected here, and they are just constantly improving, and it shows. So they gave Fnatic a bit of run for their money, but in the end it is still the 2-0 victory for Fnatic. They advance, they go to Dreamhack Valencia now. Congratulations to them, of course, as well. A very solid series that they played here, and especially the team engagements in the last game were absolutely incredible. So congratulations once more. If you enjoyed the series, guys, if you enjoyed those team fights and also the dual cast that we had today, then make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me also know if you would like to hear more dual commentary, if you want to have some of the people that I already casted with, if you want to just have a bit of fresh blood every now and then to mix things up a little bit. It was a pleasure casting for you. Hope that you enjoyed the series, and guys, I'm going to see you next time with more Heroes of the Storm here on KhaldorTV. Bye bye.